Well, happy Monday. William, so great for you to join us. Thanks for dropping in.
Oh, what an honor to be with you, Muriel.
Well,
Thanks.
I especially appreciate you playing hooky from your pole vaulting that was scheduled for today in order to be with us today.
You know, it went pretty well because we handed out awards to all our athletes today for the meet on Saturday, and two of my vaulters had personal records, so it was a good day to celebrate.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations to your
Yeah,
team.
congratulations to them. They did really
Wow.
well.
Well, I have to say, of all the people that I've had on my Monday lives, you're the only one who's a renowned New Age artist and instrument builder, and you run your own school of lutherie, and you're a pole vaulter. I mean, so that's a first here, you know?
That's a combination. There may be only one of those people.
Yeah,
When you throw the pole vaulting in there, that kind of
yeah,
that kind of puts it over the top, I guess.
right. I mean, that's interesting. I wonder how many people are tuning in here just because of the pole vaulting aspect of it.
I bet there's a lot of vaulters that just tuned in.
Well, yeah.
Say, I want to see a demo. I want to see him play a guitar. I want to see him the backyard demo.
Well, you won a national championship for that, didn't you?
Well, let's see. I won the Bakersfield Track Classic. That was probably my claim to some kind of notoriety, because I won against the world record holder at the time and the reigning Olympian champion. But he didn't have a good meet, and I did. So I lucked out.
Oh, wow. So, well, I try to keep my pole vaulting at a minimum,
I'm going to
being
work with you,
an
Muriel.
amateur. Yeah, yeah. On that.
There's age groups. See, you vault against now. I jump as in the masters division, and you jump against people your own age, which seems fair, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. But I think we really should jump against people our own height, in my case.
Okay.
Yes.
Put
So-
that into the mix for sure.
But before I have my demonstration on pole vaulting, I think we should play some music together.
Let's do
and I want to just mention some of the things that I want to cover later on. I have a new release this week. Yay!
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's called My Guitar Heroes, and I share all the cool things that I learned from my heroes. That's
Cool.
on TrueFire. And also, Pamela told me that the coupon code is still up if you want to get free sheet music on my website. The top secret code is SPRING, and that'll get you free sheet music or other things. And we have
Can't
an
wait to hear
update.
it.
Yeah, update on Brian's acoustic sailing, and it is his birthday coming up on Thursday. I do need some suggestions for birthday gifts for Brian, things that can be gotten at the last minute. And we have a free workshop coming up, and which you can register for now. And we would love to talk about some instrument building and have you tell us something about that. I think it's just fascinating what you're doing there.
Cool.
But first, let's play some music. And as far as playing together, when I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and you are in Arizona, we play something that's kind of fluid and that won't mind that lag in time. So this is just for us to have some fun.
Cool. So first for me, I told Muriel I didn't know it was possible because sometimes there's a second delay,
Yeah.
but I think it'll work.
Yeah, well, it'll at least be possible for us. We'll see if it's fun for people to listen to.
That's right.
How about my tune "View from Space"? I do that in the key of E.
Key of E. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so I'm in the key of D. I push this button. There we go. I'm there.
You were the first to develop that instrument with those tuning. What do you call that when you can change
This
all
is,
the tuning?
I give a plug to Neil Skin, who developed one of the most fascinating technologies. This system is actually physical. The strings that you just heard raise and pitch. Each one raised a whole tone, or if I take it down, I push a button. There's little servo motors, and they tighten and loosen the strings.
Wow.
So it's just incredible.
So it's physical and not digital.
Yes.
That
There's
is-
some digital varieties, but this one is pretty awesome because you can
Yeah,
just change
amazing.
the tunings like that automatically. It's a wonderful technology. So thanks to Neil Skin for that accent tuning. all you guitarists out there that want to get one of these, I highly recommend it. If you play in open tunings, it's really wonderful.
Well, we'll play a little View from Space, and you could just add some spacey sounds there as you like.
I will.
Oh, you found all sorts of cool stuff to do in there. This is what's really fun is the kind of spontaneous things, you know, little Indian bits, Indian sounds, and you know, very spacey kind of stuff. Let me make your picture bigger so people can see your instrument here. Let's try this.
Yes, so the other thing with this instrument, Muriel, that you might listen to, this neck has a synthesizer part. So if I'm playing do a lot of different kinds of things. lots of different kinds of and let me see. I've got to think of something. Nashville. I got an idea here. Here we go. Anyway,
Wow.
so
It's so much you can do with that instrument.
I'm still learning. It's got, you know, the one neck you can change tunings automatically. This one you can play, you know, sounds that. I'll come to some gig and I'll start off with piano. And just go into some other things, and people, they look around and say, where's that coming from?
Wow, so interesting. I mean, when did you have the idea to build an instrument like this?
Well, you know, this is a kind of a evolution of harp guitars. As all the viewers watched us play the harp guitars, there's lots of varieties, and I made one in '77 that really looks like a harp and guitar. That one's in a museum right now on loan. And then I have this guitar that I'll play here in a minute with you. That's my second harp guitar. Then I have a lyra harp guitar that's behind me. And then this guitar. So each one kind of has some different motifs. This one, I was at a NAMM show, and I met Neil, and I learned about his technology, and I said, I got to have one of those. So I actually designed this instrument to incorporate the computer that fits into it. And this is kind of cool here. Got these magnets on here. So all this technology here, this is actually a computer built in, you know, that I embedded in the guitar. And then under this blue tape are the servo motors that tighten and loosen the strings. So it's kind of one of those collaborations. You know, Neil developed the technology, and as an instrument maker, I thought I want to add that. And then the other thing that's kind of fun, I didn't play too much of the harp strings, but so you can add those and the bass strings in there. So there's quite a few different things that are happening with that.
Wow, a lot of detail. I even like your yin and yang back in there that you have.
Some of that is kind of spontaneous. You know, this started out with a two-dimensional design, you know, and then from there, you know, for the back, this one features, you know, woods that are very colorful.
Yeah,
This
look
is
at that.
Brazilian satinwood and Osage orange and purple heart. So just some different varieties, and but you know, some of the instruments come out of you know, thinking about different shapes and sizes and designs, and the cavity sizes help indicate what kind of sounds you're going to get, along with the string lengths. This guitar here was my second harp guitar, and it followed after my first one. The first one I actually used harp strings and nylon strings, very much like a harp. And then see if I can get this in the picture a little better. But so this one is actually designed out of one piece of wood. This is just one big frame with cutouts. And then the back is from the same piece of wood, which is highly figured flamed maple. And then the sides are just like a telescope that goes outward to create two thicknesses for the side.
Yes. Well, we have somebody who's asking here about the instruments. Also, someone had asked if we play if either one of us play any Jethro Tull tunes. I guess I got to learn a Jethro Tull tune, you know?
Yes, I
that's
used to
pretty
know
fun.
one, but I
Okay.
think Aqua Lung was one I used to know, but I
Yeah.
I play
Brian
with a.
seconds that.
We got to work that up, Muriel, just for Brian. You know what, though? My good friend Claudia Tulip is an awesome flute player, and so I think that's why we worked it up, because she can cover that flute, some of the flute stuff on there that Ian does. It's really nice.
Oh, yes. And we have some hellos from Brazil and from Illinois. Let's see. And also some Arizona from your home state. So, and one person was asking if, he's saying what he looks forward to hearing us live in person. And hopefully that'll happen back at, you produced that concert series in Cottonwood at the Old Town Center of the Arts.
Old Town Center for the Arts, and we have you on our calendar for February 5th. So
February
listeners
5th.
out there from Arizona or any part, travel, and by that time I think people are going to really be excited about going back to live shows. So February 5th will be a Saturday, and we're looking forward to it, and maybe we can play a song or two there.
Yes, of course.
It'll feature Muriel for sure, but I might try to talk her into let me play a song or two with her.
I think that just might be possible.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, let's do one of your tunes, and I'll just wander in with some random notes from time to time, perhaps. If
Yeah,
you'll give me the
absolutely.
key.
Yeah, this is in D, kind of a modal D, and when I learn songs, this is a brand new tuning for me, by the way. So if you listen to the notes, it has D in the bass. I've got 3 Ds, and then these back strings, Muriel. These are actually for those guitar makers out there. This is my truss rod. I tighten and loosen this to change the relief of the neck, which is
Really?
quite odd. I built this guitar without a truss rod, thinking it's not going to work for a harp guitar. And later on, I thought, if I put strings in the back, I can tighten those to change the relief, and it works great for a harp
musical-
guitar.
Yeah.
And then you can play it.
Wow,
So
I've never
this-
thought of a musical truss rod.
No, it kind of just occurred. But this tuning is a very floaty kind of tuning. And we can just tell listeners, if we happen to be off rhythmically, it's not us. It's just the it's the gap between satellites.
a great feel and a great sound.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice playing.
Oh,
That's fun.
thank you. It was just kind of wandering about with you,
Yeah.
wandering through the woods.
I've watched some of these live events you've done. It's really cool. I love the one you did with Stanley and some of the other. Well, you play with so many great guitarists.
Well,
I could name drop, but I won't. But people know that. But if you don't, Muriel plays. She plays with the best guitarists in the world. So.
Well, they put up
amazing.
with me somehow.
Well, you're that good.
I think it's because I cook. I think that's why.
It's a cooking album.
Yeah, definitely. And so
They listen to that. They try a few of the recipes and say, yeah.
yeah, I make some
And then
baklava for them, and then they let me play with them.
And if they see the slideshow with Brian's puts together for all the recipes and the cultural stuff, then they're there.
Oh yeah, Brian has done some wonderful work, and I want to thank the people on Facebook who recommended some gifts for Brian, because I did order 2 of the gifts that you had recommended for me. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, one has arrived, so we're waiting for the other one, and so much appreciated. But if you have some other ideas of something that I can get for him, Brian is, as you probably know, is my fiance, and do you know that, William?
I do know that. In
yes,
fact,
good, good.
you let me know that day we did the live stream concert with
yes.
you, and I said, is it okay for me to say that on air? Because I was so
Yes,
happy
that's
for
right.
both of you.
That was just
It's a cool thing.
yeah. So and he also does all the visuals, the visual backdrops. So that's why I have this bed sheet spread behind me. We are preparing for another audio-visual filming here. So
Oh, cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, everybody needs to have a screen in their house, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let me see if we have any recommendations popping in here as I'm talking. And let's see. Oh,
I think you should get him a new boat.
Funny.
A yacht.
Funny, he did suggest that.
Yeah.
Funny you say that.
That's on the list of suggestions. Yeah.
Actually, what we all can get him is he's started this new YouTube channel called Acoustic Sailing. So if you go to Acoustic Sailing, and if you subscribe there, he would love that. And there's even a Patreon button. You have to look for
nice.
it. It's hidden in there. So if you become one of his first patrons, he would be absolutely delighted. I think they start at like $4 or something like that. And that is how we are planning to make it possible for us to do another voyage in the summer up the coast of Maine. So it's sailing on a shoestring budget, and with some repairs that need to be made.
That one you did up on the East Coast, up I think north of New York or New York to Maine somewhere. That was amazing.
Yes.
People, if you haven't seen that, you got to look that up. That's really a cool thing.
And he's still posting some more adventures from that. So there's more.
Oh,
more
nice.
to be posted on there. So that's the Acoustic Sailing site. And I wanted to see if I have some other recommendations here. We have a hello from Lane's Cove, and I want to tell you that this next trip that we're going along the Maine coast, we are planning to hug the coast more and stop at Cape Ann and stop in Lane's Cove. And so I will visit you there. This will probably be July at some point. And we're looking to do house concerts as we travel, so along the coast. So if anyone is along the coast and would like me to stop and do a house concert. We're also planning to distribute instruments. So if you know a music program that needs some instruments, ukuleles, guitars, we will have them on board and to give away as we travel. So those in Lane's Cove there, let us know if your music programs are in need, or if you'd like to make some music while we're stopping by. So cool stuff there. And let's see if any other recommendations. Oh yeah, Eleanor says hello there from Long Island. That's where we'll be departing from. And yeah, a lot of folks are chiming in here. Well, let me play a tune here, and then I'll take some more of your comments there as we go. And I'll be looking for more give suggestions for Brian here. I'll do one that I taught on my new Guitar Heroes course, and then we'll let William do a solo thing. So this is, I have many guitar heroes. Doc Watson showed me some really cool stuff, and Chet Atkins, and Bill Monroe's guitar player showed me some great flat picking things. But I wrote this tune of all things that Chet Atkins might have done but didn't. Things that I saw him doing around the office, and little things that he showed me. Call this Mr. Chester.
Nice.
Thank you. That's one that I teach on the new course, and I play it though without the Chet Atkins traditional bass technique. I use a technique I learned from Leo Kottke from that. So it's a tune written for Chet, but with that little Leo Kottke thumb bass.
Nice.
On that. Yeah. Well, we have another suggestion here. Oh, another question about your instruments. And you have your school, the Roberto Van School of Lutherie, is that?
Yes, that's the name of it, Roberto Van School of Lutherie. It's a school that I helped start in 1975.
Yes.
I learned my first guitar I built in 1971. I was an apprentice with John Roberts, my mentor, and John and I and Bob Venn started the school. And they've since left us quite a few years ago, but we continue on. And I've got a great crew that works with me, and we have a 5-month class in guitar making and repair. They'll build acoustic and electric guitar. We have a 10-week repair class. We have a number of elective courses, lap steel, build, just build your own electric acoustic guitar. We've got pickup winding, some different finish techniques, lots of different things. So if you look up Roberto-Venn School of Lutherie in Phoenix, Arizona, or just do a search for Guitar Making School in Phoenix, you'll find us, and come to our school and learn how to make guitars.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a few of your graduates have gone on to become professional instrument builders.
Oh, yes. We have 2,800 graduates, and they are all over the place. They're in major companies. Mike Volz, when I think of Chet Atkins, and Les Paul. Les worked with Gibson, and well, Gretsch. There's connections with Fender now. They're senior research design engineers from our school. Mike Volz just retired from Gibson after, 30 plus years. He was their vice
Wow.
president and worked for Gibson. Linda from their human resource director is coming out to school, I think, in a few weeks. They've been hiring a lot of our students recently. So if you name a guitar company, we probably have graduates that are working for them now or have worked for them. And some of the finest acoustic makers in the country or in the world are some of our graduates. Jason Kostel and Michi Matsuda and Michael Bernick and Mario Beauregard, some really fantastic individual makers. And we have people who have started their own companies, like Reverend Guitars is one of our graduates, Scott
Okay.
Walker Guitars. So
Yes.
I could go on and on, but lots of people that have come through the school. It's my biggest satisfaction to see these students come to the school and adapt a lifestyle that really changes their life
Yeah.
after making a guitar. And my thing there has been making one-of-a-kind instruments. That's what kind of drew me to the whole idea of writing the business plan. While I was in business school, I wrote the plan for the school, and I've done quite a few different ones. This one is pretty unique. It's got quite a different back to it. If you can see that, some people looks like a scarab beetle, but the design started with this kind of just the outline shape, and then took on some other things. And the original shape came from an armoire that had a symbol with a circle and two lines. And then, so I kind of changed some of that and mixed it in with plant leaves, by the way. And you're doing some gardening, I know, this afternoon, Muriel. Plants grow
Yep.
logarithmically. And so if you follow this pattern here, these shapes are like leaves overlaid. It has scallop frets. I'm going to put the mic on this instrument because I don't have it plugged in, but I'll just demo the sound of it. I play this more like a raga instrument. So just the idea of the sound. I just tuned this up yesterday. This just came back from a museum, and I haven't played it for about a year, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. If there's time, I have one more minute to show you an instrument that's Chet Atkins somehow inspired. I'll show you.
Really? Yes, of course. And while you're pulling that out, you had mentioned gardening, and my yard is in full bloom right now. The lawnmower guy didn't come, and so all the dandelions are blooming, and the violets, and the creeping Charlie, and the foxglove, and we even have a lot of fleabane. So our yard has almost no grass anymore, but all the weeds are so beautiful. And in fact, I called the next two little girls over next door. We all picked dandelions, and we made dandelion cookies yesterday from
nice.
the blossoms. And
Wonderful.
yeah, they were quite good. Yes. And
It's spring is upon us. It's just our garden is just starting to come to life. It's I love to work in that. My wife Christy's she's got quite the green thumb, so I really look forward to this time of year.
yes, it's wonderful. Well, that's an interesting instrument there.
Yeah, see, these two I don't think you've seen. I haven't
No,
brought
I
these
haven't.
to the conventions, just limited travel stuff. But this guitar is a 26-string instrument. This is actually my first multi-stringed instrument, and the back is carved from maple, just a 2-inch piece with a frame. And the original inspiration was I was studying Indian music, and Hazrat Inayat Khan, a Sufi mystic, I guess you'd say, who did some wonderful writings on Sufi mysticism and sound and vibration. And so some of these shapes in here, like the shape of the headstock, is reminiscent of what you would see in lots of forms in India. Taj Mahal, for example, the lotus flower. Speaking of plants, it's called an olisk, that shape on the top here that you see in a lot of design. So that motif is throughout the instrument with the bridge and the headstock. But the Chet, how does Chet Atkins relate to this?
Yes.
This was one of the first instruments I made. I was a big fan of Chet, still am, and listened to a lot of his music over the years. And I loved his guitars. Those Gretsch guitars sounded so great. And I never had a Gretsch. I couldn't afford one when I was, now I build my own, so it's kind of a different thing. But I went to a music store and I found a Tennessean Gretsch, and I traced out the design. So if you look carefully, this is morphed from a Tennessean Gretsch. If I put this up against a Tennessean, now the cutaway is a little different. Of course, I just change lines. And when I teach some of the design work at the school, that's a common design technique. Take an original shape that you like, change a few lines, and I doubt anybody would look at that and say, "Oh, that looks like a Tennessean Gretsch." But that was a reference. This one, I'm not sure if it's in tune. It's I play this kind of like a raga style instrument as well. I'll just see if I don't have too much tuning to do on this, but take a listen.
I can hear that Gretsch sound a mile away.
Yeah, it's a reference. I don't know. I've never used it before, but the reason I was thinking about that just because
That's right.
I don't know why I was thinking of Chet just the other day, and when you played that, I said that's fitting because I was thinking of him. I know you were close to him and actually got to play with Chet and learn from him. That's amazing.
He was a really very warm and supportive teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I have something I wanted to share with you if this works. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I walked out my front door this morning and there was a surprise out there. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Cardinal is in her nest. So last week a cardinal had built a nest right next to the front door in this bush. And there were 3 eggs in
the nest.
So I'm just checking.
Ooh. There's a little mouth open.
Oh my goodness!
There are
Look
the
at
little
that!
chicks.
Amazing!
Yeah.
Wow.
There, yeah. So that was cool. Cool to see that.
Absolutely. Now, was Mom yelling at you when you got close?
Yep. Yep. Mom and Dad seem to take turns.
Yes.
Watching the nest, and castigating the people who come too close.
Well, it's just a little wondering there, just
Yes.
shouting out. Now, don't get too close to my babies. That's
Yeah.
good.
So wonderful little bit of nature to experience right there.
Nice.
So, well, let's. I'm going to see if there's any other comments we should say hello to, and then maybe we'll just improvise something randomly as an outer to say so long.
Yeah,
and,
I'll grab one other guitar that I have with me, and I'll set up while
Sure.
you're getting ready.
Okay, well, I'll take a look here, and yeah, somebody was asking if you've played with Carlos Nikia quite a bit. Yes, I think so. We have hello from Mark and Diane in Tempe. And also, they reminded me at the workshop, this workshop that's coming up is sponsored by String Masters, and I've just recently joined the faculty there. They're presenting a free guitar workshop, but there's limited enrollment, so if you want to participate, they suggest that you sign up. And that link is on my general links page, murielanderson.com/now, which is probably linked right there for you. So that would be great to have you join me there for that workshop. And all the other links are there. And I'm also going to put a link to the Roberto Van School of Lutherie. I think that's just the place to learn instrument building. I've visited there and played some of the students' instruments, and they were so proud of the instruments, and there was just a really great vibe happening there. So really proud of what you're doing there, William.
Thanks. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. This tuning, Muriel, is in, I think, might be G minor.
G
Yeah.
minor. Looks like. sounds out into the universe there.
Throwing some out there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me. We'll do something entirely different next week. So this was just very cool to have you here, William, and all the best with your pole vaulting students. And how on earth did you get into such an unusual sport, by the way?
Oh gosh, I was pole vaulting when I was about 8 or 9 years old. They used to wrap carpets with bamboo, and so somehow a bamboo pole shows up, and I'm out in the yard running with it and using it to jump over bushes. And my dad happened to be a pole vaulter, and he came out and said, "Oh, and so he brought some standards home the next day, and I was off and running, and I jumped all the way. It got me to Arizona because I got a scholarship to go to Arizona State University, and fell in love with the desert. Then I quit for, I think, 35 years, and I was asked to coach at the Red Rock High School where we live in Sedona, and my son was going to start school there in another year, and I said, well, you don't want your old man out there coaching, do you? And he said, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. So he vaulted. I taught him how to pole vault, and we were already bonded really well, but those 4 years were pretty special working together on that. And I've stayed on to continue coaching, and it got me jumping again after 35 years. And you had mentioned a national championship. I actually won one as an old guy, and which is still a little bit of an accomplishment because it's still pretty competitive. But it was, instead of the young guys, I was jumping against 60 and over.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing stuff. So, in all your aspects of life there. Well, if you want to continue this chat, I'll log back in on Facebook or YouTube and answer some of your questions. I did see that there were a couple of nice suggestions for gifts. I don't want to say them out loud because Brian might be listening in the other room. But I appreciate those, and I may actually take you up on one of those. I think that was a cool idea. So thanks again. Thanks, William. I look forward to seeing you for real in real life in February.
Yes.
The Old
Enjoy
Town Center
your adventures and all your traveling and your performances, and I'm looking forward to your new release. That's wonderful.
Thanks. It was fun to do. It was all True Fire's idea, and it was just a really great way to take the things that people have been so kind to show me and then pass on these little gems of knowledge. So.
I have a new release that'll be coming out. It's an old release. My first LP was re-released last year, music by William Eaton, and then a very obscure title that very few sold. It was a cassette called Tale of a Musician, and the company that put out the record said, we want to make this into an LP. And so I've been having this real adventure getting old equipment back up to speed, an old TAC tape deck, 3340, it's a 4-track, and an old cassette recorder. Luckily, a guy in Phoenix was able to repair them, and I've been going through these old tapes. It's like looking in an archive vault to find some of these originals, so they can get a good tape. And I've managed to transfer three of the big reel-to-reels so far, rediscovering some music from 70s and early 80s. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
Cool. All right. Well, I'll look forward to that, hearing that. All sorts of cool stuff. And next week we haven't nailed it down yet, but we'll either have Danny Gottlieb from the Pat Metheny group, or Richard Smith, who's a brilliant Chet Atkins and Django Reinhardt style player, and player in any style that he wants to in his own right. Just a true genius on the guitar. So we're still waiting for confirmation from them, and we'll let you know once we find out. So long. We'll see you next time.
see you, Muriel. Thanks.